So I want to tell you the story about how I hypnotized my friend. Now, I don't know if you would say that it was the right thing or the ethical thing to do, but I did do it, and I believe that I did a good thing. I look at it this way. I look at it more like I helped him to think for himself. I used my knowledge and understanding of human behavior and the mind to help plant the seed inside of his mind so that he would begin to realize that there's a new way of thinking and a new life that he can obtain by shifting your thoughts towards something that just gives you new energy, new life, new purpose. And in our society today, a lot of us are programmed to think and behave and respond and react in certain ways. Our thoughts are literally being implanted and beliefs implanted into our brain, into our physical body. That's how programming works. It's being put into us so that we just become copy and paste, drones, or as Scott Adams puts, moist robots. As I spent time with my friend for over a week, I noticed layers upon layers of several kinds of conditioning: social conditioning, cultural, societal conditioning. I could see where the layers of trauma had been put onto his body. Now, there are ways to detect and see where people have their traumas at, and energy gets stored in the body. A traumatic energy physiologically gets stored into the body and that's just where that energy is stored. And there's a way to release that energy and get beyond the conditioning so that you can become actually, truly, really happy or content. Because happiness is just a fleeting moment. It is a mood, it is an emotion. So you can be happy one minute and just feel neutral the next. And neutrality to me is more like contentment, right? You're just generally content overall. You're in control of your emotions. So the idea that you want to do is to reprogram your mind to become a better version of yourself, a more self-actualized and you that feels in control. Now, a person that is programmed and does not have control of their own reality, they're still conscious and aware, but they're thinking through the filters and seeing through the paradigms or lenses of the pre-programmed version of themselves. This creates confusion, and this is why people don't understand why they feel the way they feel and how they feel hopeless and kind of like they can't come out of it, right? So, and in a lot of ways, my friend indicated to me many different ways himself. He indicated both, indirectly and directly, verbally, that basically he just implied and said directly that there's no way to get out of the state that he was in. And so because of that, he was and is controlled by programming and biological drives that just keep him stuck. And as a result, he has no aim, no definite purpose, no love interests. he can't get out of the continual loop and cycle, and then he only manages to get by through continuous, and this is going to sound harsh, like a drug addict. He can only get by through harsh, he can only get by through repetitive stimulus, external stimulants, like through food and entertainment, basically. Food for him is like, it's a big major escape, because when you're conditioned, part of the conditioning is teaching you that there is no way out, and then you like literally become conditioned to believe that there's no way out, right? And so the only thing you can do is to rely on stimulants of some form, whether it be food, entertainment, and drugs, to give you a temporary sense of completeness in that moment through chemical highs. Because food gives you a lot of, different foods give you a lot of chemical highs, like oxytocin and dopamine spikes, and you can't really be happy, so you rely on those continuous stimulants. So you are literally addicted to drugs. You're addicted to foods and entertainment and other stimulus that produce those chemicals in your body. And then once those things drop, once the sugar spike, for example, goes down, you crave food, and all of a sudden you interpret that as you're hungry. You're not really hungry, you're just seeking a dopamine hit. And now, so we're going to put a stop to that. Notice how, see what I did there? We're going to put a stop to that, and we're going to take control, and we're not going to let the authorities or the powers that be dictate how we live our lives. We are going to, a lot of times what it takes is just walking backwards and looking back into the past. To become new again, we need to walk forward, but that does mean looking back in the past and doing somewhat of a mental and emotional time travel back in time, and look at those instances in your life where you experienced trauma, and think to yourself, why do I believe what I believe? How did I come to this experience that I'm experiencing? Why do I believe how I do? Why do I feel the way I feel? Why don't I get anywhere where I want to go? Why am I not the person that I want to become? So we walk backwards, we time travel, and we find those memories and instances where we feel an energetic trauma may have happened, or some event or events, number of events that were conducive in creating all the troubles and the problems that we have. And we analyze that, and we figure out where in our bodies the energy is stored. I'll elaborate more coming in some more videos, but this is just one. These are just the things that we have to look at. So you time travel, and you find where those events are stored in your neurology and where they're stored in your body, okay? And a lot of becoming the new person is a matter of doing that, going back in time in order to figure out what to unprogram. There is programming yourself to move forward, yes, and also there is a lot of unprogramming that allows who you really are caked beneath those layers of conditioning. So a lot of it, again, is a matter of just unprogramming, just so that you can come out naturally and be yourself. Be yourself. Remember when you were a kid, that's where you start. We'll talk to you soon.